So we were discussing about the AI and the types of AI. AI, there are two types of AI. By the way, there are a lot of types of AI, but in your syllabus, we discussed about expert system and machine learning. Then we learned about the expert system. Then we discussed about its advantages and disadvantages, right? Now we
Yeah,
know machine language and expert system both are the subset of AI, but they performs differently, right?
yeah,
Then I told you about the expert system, its advantages and its disadvantages. Then we hit the main systems of expert system. We spoke about like the parts of the components of the expert system, user interface. It's an interface through which we can interact with the expert system, and a user interface that prompts different types of messages, dialog boxes in a series of questions, yes, no, kind of Boolean type, right? Uh, and I told you about the rules. So user interface, then we discuss about the knowledge base. What is the knowledge base? System is set up with a repository of facts and the complete knowledge about a particular field, right?
yeah,
So it also holds the data, a complete data actually, about the different objects and their attributes. Is that clear? Any question up till now, Umar?
no,
So today let's start rules based. Where are the rules? This is the rules. So rules is it's all about the logic statements, right? Logic statements are it's a you can say it's a set of logical statements, just like for example, if statements, right? If statements. If you know something about the programming, then we use a selection statement. If
1 second.
then okay, okay.
Sorry.
No problem. So base it's a set of logical statements, just like if statements. I was telling you about we use these statements in programming, if then else, right? These are the selection statements coming varying soon in our syllabus. If statements, if this is the statement, this is true, then what happens? If this is not true, then what happens? These are the conditions, right? If statement means, say for example, let me say there is a condition Mars greater than 90, then, right? Then क्या होना चाहिए? If this statement is true, then you can display a message A star, right? Else, then you can have multiple if then else statements. Then you can have more statements, right?
Yeah,
We'll learn about all these things, inshallah, in paper 2, right? So,
yeah,
inference rules, inference rules. uh, Umar, you need to write these things. It's a technical one. Inference rules. You know what does it mean, right? Inference. are used by the inference engine to draw conclusions. This is a very important point, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me repeat this. Rules base, it's a part of the expert system, right? And it's a set of logical statements, just like if statements, if, then, else. The inference rules, these inference rules we are talking about are used by the inference engines. So if ये देखें ये मैंने बनाया हुआ है, right? So inference rules, so it interacts with the inference engine. Clear, Umar?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's discuss inference engine. This is the most very important part of the expert system, right? This inference engine is the main processing component of expert system. Expert system. In simple words, if I say it works like a search engine, right? Search engines, we have different types, we have Google search engine, then we have Alta Vista. No, Alta Vista, then we have Lycos. They are not very famous, but we used to use these search engine before Google, right? Google come into the market of IT, right?
Yeah.
So what happens? Inference engine, it acts like a search engine. Okay, that's fine. Then it searches the data from where? Knowledge base. And we know knowledge base mean it has everything, means the facts, the data, the objects, its attributes, everything, right?
Yeah.
But by using inference rules, of course, by using inference rules. Okay, from inference rules, from rules-based to make decisions. Inference engine, that is the main processing component or part of the expert system. It acts like a search engine. By using inference rules from the rules base, it searches the data from the knowledge base part of the expert system. And we know knowledge base, it's a repository which contains the facts, objects, and their attributes and all things, right? It can be anything.
Yeah.
It can be any topic, right?
Yeah.
Uh, if I give you an example, say for example, we have an expert system, right? Say for example, we have objects, then we have attribute, then we have another attribute, attribute one. Let me say the second one is attribute two, attribute three, and so on, right? So these are the attributes of the objects. Let me say we have objects, cruise ship. Is there any difference between cruise ship and yacht, Umar?
No.
Okay. The attribute is one of the attribute of cruise ship. It runs on water, and then it uses इंजन भी होता है इसमें. Then और क्या हो सकता है? Attribute थी, it varies in sizes, right? चलें इसको ऐसे
Yeah.
रहने दें. And the second one is, for example, plane. And does it, what is the attribute? It doesn't work on the land. ये कहाँ पर होता है? The attribute is air. And attribute क्या हो सकता है? It can be manual. वैसे by the way, automatic, it has automated system, but manually it works fine, right? So
Yeah.
और क्या हो सकता है? इसे भी रहने दो. There are attributes. There are so many attributes of it. So we can even restrict it, right? So we can like give so many attributes of it. Means talking about wheels, the size, etc., right?
Yeah.
And let me take another example, car, then land. This is the first attribute. Then we have, does it have any engine? Yes. और क्या होता है इसके अंदर? इसमें व्हील्स कितने होते हैं? से फॉर एग्जांपल 4. इस तरह लेट्स से स्पोर्ट्स बाइक, राइट? लैंड, ऑफ कोर्स लैंड पर होता है. इट हैज मैनुअल भी हो सकता है, मैनुअल, हाँ ठीक है. मैनुअल, इट हैज डिफरेंट 4-5 गियर्स, राइट? तो the attribute is it has 2 wheels, right? For example, how does a user interact with the expert system? By giving some input, and in response to that, expert system उसे क्या करता है? Answers देता है. So let's see what should be the question. Do you, not you actually, we are talking about objects, so it should be do, not do, does it travel on water? Does it travel in the air? Is it powered manually by human being? Does it have 2 wheels? Does it have two wheels. Okay, so it asks you for the very first question, does it travel on the water? No. Does it travel on the air? No. Is it powered manually by a human? Yes. Does it have two wheels? Yes. So, ये क्या चीज है? We have the objects, then it would give you this thing. If we make it like, is it powered by human being? Yes. Does it have four wheels? That would have been a car. उमर समझ आया अब ये?
जी.
Good. Are you copying this?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me when you are done.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the other type of AI, that is machine learning. Machine learning. We know that it's a subset of AI. In machine learning, we trained a device to perform a task. It can be a device or it can be a application to perform a task and improve its capabilities. Let me write it. Machine learning. Machine learning is a science of training a device or application to perform a task and improve its capabilities. How does that can be achieved? Definitely by feeding data, information, and some scenarios so that it can learn. We know, right? Learn and adopt. Remember that. Machine learning so that it can learn over time from its past experiences. Every single time when it has an experience of something new, then it updates the experience that is stored in the database, and on the very next time it doesn't make any mistake, right? So that gives you the updated version of the thing that a user requires, right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. So, what are the key characteristics? Key characteristics, characteristics, characteristics of machine learning, right? It can make predictions based on based on previous scenarios. For example, the day before yesterday, we had a storm, a big storm in Islamabad. So uh, definitely, if meteorologist department, if I'm not wrong, if they are using that AI system, so that had been updated definitely on their machines on the basis of those parameters, right? They predicted today that still we are like in the trouble. Trouble means so we have to uh, park our cars inside the porch and shelter, etc., etc., till 20th, like tomorrow. Still, we have prediction there will be a storm, right? Again. So that is the machine learning they had experienced. The data is updated on every single experience and it can predict you for the coming future, right?
Yeah.
Then it has ability, machine learning, it has ability of what? Ability to manage and analyze the complex data. Ability to manage and analyze the complex data. And that can provide fast and accurate results or outcome. More clear?
Yeah.
Any question?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, let's make a difference between artificial intelligence and machine learning, right? So on the left side, that is artificial intelligence and machine learning. Artificial intelligence, we discussed about that artificial AI, it's simulated intelligence in machines. Intelligence in machines, isn't it? But
Yeah.
and the other thing that we discussed, AI aims to create a machine that is capable of thinking like human beings. Human copy. Humans. More clear? We already discussed these 2 points, right? But in talking about the machine learning, the machine is designing machines to make decisions, to make decisions without without being programmed to do so. Programmed to do so. And the other point should be, it aims, learning aims to create machines that can learn through the the data, acquired data, that's enough. Through the data and and experiences experience, so they can solve new problems. And this is the difference between AI and. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. So what comes in your mind when we, Umar, talk about machine learning examples?
Mm,
Machine learning examples. Let me give you some of the examples. That's not, by the way, not the part of the difference. मैं वैसे ही आपको example दे रहा हूँ, right? It can prediction, number one. Then uh, Google Translation is one of it. Google Translation convert the data into different parameters, right? So virtual assistants you can see on different websites, even on the Google assistants. Then then we talk about, oh, that's very important, email filtering email filtering, that's important. Email filtering. Then we talk about the image recognition. Uh, it should be tagging. That's better. Tagging suggestions. Search image recognition. Now we have this. Just you need to get the picture on your mobile phone, then you can search that picture on the Google search, right? Google search engine.
Yeah.
Search, image search and image recognition. Recognition.
So, can I come back in 1 minute?
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, then we have, so these were the examples of machine learning, right? Umar, clear?
Yes.
So there may be more talking about gaming, education, statistical data. So that's enough. So example of machine learning. Okay. By the way, I'm getting all these things on daily basis. On last year, you have been there with this boy and फिर वो एक पूरा एक एल्बम बनाकर दे देता है, right? So there is an accuracy and there are some chances of definitely some what should I say, mistakes, of course. So deep face, they use deep face software for facial recognition, right? So actually, the images were inserted into the database, and over a period of time, that was updated with millions and millions of images. Now it can easily find out the exact person. Umar, clear?
Yes.
So I guess we are done. Yes, we are done. Shall I summarize this in 1 minute?
Okay.
Expert system. Okay, it simulates a human expert and consists of the following components. Number one, it has interface. Then it has knowledge base, rules base, inference engines. Then it is used in areas such as diagnosis, telecommunication, transport, etc., etc. In machine learning, we learned it's also a part subset of the AI. It is one way to achieve the artificial intelligence, right? The
Yes.
science, अब ये क्या है इसमें, we train a device or application to perform a task and improve its capabilities, right? So that is achieved by having data, actually the huge data, right? That is definitely fed into the databases and information and different scenarios so it can learn over time. Umar, clear?
Yes.
So do you have any question?
No.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we are done with the chapter number 6, robotics, AI, expert system, emerging technologies. Inshallah, जो next lecture होगा हमारा, then we'll talk about, not talk about actually, we'll do some past papers questions, right?